So Joyce is going to do the first section of presentation. And are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, let's do it. Ready? I'm going to change seats. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to record this on my phone.
You got two sheets back there. One of them is a single copy, front and back, and this is the the information I took off the website of just chakras of how they have existed for quite a while. And in the other packet, obviously, I'm not going to read through all of this information, but there is a lot of information here, and I'm just going to touch on pieces of it. So basically, first of all, let's just skim through, because I know everybody in this room is familiar with chakras and what they represent and where they are in the body. So I'm just going to let you kind of answer questions for the first part. So the chakra, let's start with the base. The base chakra. Tell me about the base chakra. What do you know about the base chakra, the root chakra? Come on.
Connects you to the earth, makes you feel safe, secure.
Okay, color red.
It's red.
Red.
Okay, great. Okay, the sacral chakra.
Orange.
Creative juices.
Creative juices, good.
Sexual energy.
Creativity, sexual energy, all of that good stuff. Some of that's on here. Good, we're moving up because we're going to go through this one fast because as Lucy said, we're changing. The solar plexus. What color is it?
Yellow.
We associate it with yellow.
Center of power, personal will.
Great. It's our self-esteem. It's who we know we are. This is where we hold a lot. The heart chakra.
Green.
Color's green. This is where it all comes together, actually, and that's where it's kind of all coming together. And this is where we hold our love and compassion. And that's why my understanding, the upper chakras and the lower chakras are kind of all coming together into the heart. And so as we move up, the throat chakra then has to do with
Communication. Hearing also.
Speaking your truth.
The brow chakra, third eye, seeing kind of from the spiritual aspect,
Intuition.
being able to be more insightful and see with the third eye. And then the crown chakra,
Connection to the higher self.
connection with the high realms. Actually, all of these are more divine level than they're connecting with the divine. And some of the things that they don't always note is you have back chakras too. Everywhere you have a front chakra, you have a back chakra. And we don't always talk about those, but it's all shifting. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Lisa asked me to remind you of what it is like for still a large percentage of us and how it's shifting and changing. This information is from Lisa Transcendence Brown. Come on in, join the crowd. We have a sheet over here, and we have one over here. Yeah, welcome. This is from Lisa Transcendence Brown. Is actually Suzanne again. She's responsible for connecting me with her. She sent me a video of her on John Borges or whatever site, and he was interviewing her. And so I was really fascinated by what she had to say and her information, because she talks about the crystalline plasma body, which is what we're moving into. This is from her website. It's actually divided into 3 categories. So you have the human body, which is the first part, and how it's changing into the light body. And then we're moving into the crystalline and plasma light body. Crystalline and plasma light body. And on the website, it has categories of this information and how we're shifting into that. Of course, this is not written into categories, but the first part is basically the human aspect. So I'm just kind of hit and miss on some of the information here, because this is kind of where we've been. If you jump down to the last paragraph.
I'm writing this for you.
Thank you. Okay. In the human, at the top it says the human body, it's the I consciousness, the human awakening into the soul and the higher realms. So it's like that's kind of where we've been and that's who we are. Welcome. Come on in. And there's a seat right over here.
Where'd you send the sequence?
There's a couple of seats right over here. Great. Welcome. If you jump down about 4 paragraphs down, there's still only one of you in your body. You're human, and awakening up to the higher existence is just beginning. Then there becomes 2 of you. As you enter into the next phase of your soul awakening journey is here. It's not your soul that's waking up, it's your human that is asleep, deeply embedded in a matrix of lifting begins. I think I skipped a line. Programmed with this amnesia where unconsciousness ruled. Sometimes there's brain fog, memory loss, unsure of when the heavy veil necessary, me time does too. This is your soul emerging from within you. Your human will freak out a bit. Be okay with change. This is for you. What follows comes forth in deep physical body clearings, while a whole new realm of magic, amazingness, bliss, happiness, joy, your soul purpose and galactic mission starts to activate you. So it's starting kind of where we've been in the last eons with this humanness. This phase is very physical, physically challenging, and it's moving from the non-linear, the linear to more of the linear. You are shifting from a physical dominated world to a higher consciousness. So it's like we're just kind of opening up to, okay, there's maybe a little bit more than just this physical being. There's a consciousness that's greater than me. And in this and any of the domains, the key thing is surrender. That's the next paragraph. This is a very physical dimensional realm where you learn to surrender. On all the levels, it's a matter of letting go of the old paradigms and the old belief systems, and being willing to surrender to, this is where I'm headed and this is where I'm moving. Because if you're still hanging on to the old paradigms, it's going to be hard for you to shift into the new. So for me, it's like I'm constantly saying, I activate the highest dimension of me, and I'm willing to move into whatever that next level is, because we're all at different levels. This is a physical reality that is becoming energetic. This is where you learn to surrender. Okay, moving on down. So moving to the next category, I'm going to start with some information on the light body. So, and a lot of you I know have already moved in a lot of these directions, so just touching on some of those. But I thought it was important because for me, Lisa Transcendence Brown, this is information from her. You can't find it anywhere else. And yet, when Lisa was reading it, I shared it with her, she went, wow, that's happening to me. So that's the reason we're going over some of this. So the light body is a huge amount of quantum, higher self, soul, universal energy. Often electrical jolts, and surges coursing through your body's muscles, veins to wake your human body up. You know, I think when we, like in 2012, when we heard, you know, all the rumors were moving to the 5th dimension and so forth, you know, we thought we were just gonna lift up to somewhere. That was kind of my image. But I think what's happening and what is happening is those dimensions are being awakened within us. As we are awakening, our body is awakening, and those higher dimensions are coming into the cells, into the DNA as we're shifting. Your higher self awakens, comes forth often. In other words, it's wakening up the body in the cells and all your nervous system. This is when you start to walk as Christ ascended aspect until your body can completely come through with you. So it's almost like you're kind of walking into, as you move into more of the light body, because you still have this humanness from the old paradigm. So we're still kind of shifting in between. This is where you learn to surrender again to your higher self, and you start to let them run the show. Instead of trying to hold on to the old, release the need to suffer, save, fix, and project unconsciousness into the world. So again, it's letting go of the old paradigms. This is a blend of the physical and the energetic. This is kind of in between where we're headed, which is the crystalline and plasma body. But it's an awakening to, okay, there is a higher part of myself connecting maybe more with your guides, the higher part of yourself, and allowing that to come in. Yeah. Sorry, I had to kind of check in. It's like we have a soul family, and we are a part of that soul family that has come in to live in this particular lifetime. And because like I've been told I'm like a braid, and it's like the higher energies are like coming in and integrating into the soul that you already are. So it brings in that higher consciousness in the higher realms, and then it's shifting and changing even the cells in the body as we move forward. Okay. Let's see what else seems important to kind of share here. On the next page, I don't have a number here. This is like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where it says reversed chakra system. You've opened up the bottom 3 to clear fear, doubt, disbelief, to start to create a relationship with your higher selves. Or trust, respect, honor, activating, clear upper 3 chakras from the backside. Maintaining higher chakras to detach from the lower chakra physical reality. Long enough to dissolve old programming and hold the high realms with Christed consciousness from within. Purification is different for each phase. Not as physical, as you have the ability to function separately from your body and start to communicate telepathically with your cellular body, while it carries you through, get it done mode, without pain or even realizing you have a physical body for a while. Floating is normal for all of the time. All chakras collapse, unify as one, without the body blocks, where light energy streams easily through you here. This is where Lisa went, oh my God. No. Your universal experience overrides your human one because you're connecting more and more with the higher realms. Gates of heaven open up, and now it is time to learn to remember who you really are. Home returns to you. It's like remembering it because it's in your cells, it's in your DNA, and it's just waking that up. You exist between your higher and your human selves. So it's kind of like we're still in this humanness 3D part of the time, and that's like then we're connecting more and more to this higher realm. You exist between your higher and human selves, learning the difference from how to maintain a fully surrendered state. So the more you can surrender and allow the higher realms to come in, the more you're going to be allowing, and it's going to be a little easier and more peaceful. If you're fighting against it and you're still holding on to the old paradigms, then it can be a bit of a struggle from my perspective. And so just a little bit then on the crystalline and plasma light bodies, which is the last part. This is the Christed consciousness, crystalline consciousness. Crystals in your body start to form and purify every tiny particle of your body. This is an immense process where every gland, organ, molecule in your body must be reworked, constantly recalibrated and reconfigured for you to hold unity consciousness from your core, from the depths of your entire being, and to live as your highest aspect in your physical body. So it's all changing and shifting into the physical body. We're not going to drift off somewhere and finally be in heaven. I guess if you wanted to pass on to the next world, I guess you could. As plasma, I'm jumping on down. As plasma works through your bones, teeth, skull, blood, and photonic gas, air fills your entire body vessels. You walk on new earth in your new reality. So it's like becoming heaven on earth, which we've heard about for eons. Here, everything is an opportunity as a gift, has an important purpose, and what we do with all, where we come from, matters for all. It's all about love and connecting, as I said, bringing it all together in that heart consciousness. You've descended all of your higher self aspects, leaving the crown, solar, star chakras to now cycle down the front of your chakra system to purify in a whole new level any distortions left. So it's like it's cleansing you out and clearing you into this higher plasma crystalline body. activating and anchoring heaven on earth to walk in the physical through every experience here. I get excited when I start reading all this. It's like, yes, we're finally heading there, yay. And I think that's all I have to present. So, any questions in particular? This is just kind of the touching of where we're headed. This is gonna give more information from the records, and then this is a special gift for us. All right. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, so you guys that came in a little bit late, we ran out of copies.
Let me go run some.
Sorry. I think we need 4, who didn't get one? Do we need 4 sets? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 boys. Okay. Okay, so you know how I do. I opened my records and I got this message that I'm gonna share with you. And so if you guys will take one and pass it around, it's gonna take just a minute to pass it around. I'm sorry about that. I'll tell you what, let's split this in half. Yeah, I'll take this. And that won't be all, but anyway. So I think I have enough copies for everybody. If somebody doesn't get one, then just share and then I'll get you one afterwards. Huh?
What is the handout?
It's my stuff.
It's your stuff.
It's my stuff.
I didn't keep it.
Good job.
Huh? What?
Is this your pen?
All there.
Yeah.
Did you get one? Did you get one of these? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna use all, I only made 25 copies for 24, so,
She needs one. No, I think she
I have an extra.
yeah, pass them this direction. If you have any extras.
There's 2.
Okay, everybody good? Did everybody get one? Anybody not get one? Raise your hand so I'll know if I need to make copies. I couldn't have been more perfect, could I? All right, well, not me, but making copies. So, okay, so I'm gonna read this to you guys, and I know I hate to read stuff to you, but this is what the records, the information that the records gave me. And so I'm just gonna repeat it to you. The chakras are going through a major development stage of changing. Your chakras are an energy system. You are referring to a system that is basically a portal for energy and light to come into and to be distributed throughout the body. As this is changing, the resistance of the old ways are going through upheaval, shifting, and changing. The old paradigm teaches there is an energy system above the body, down through the body, and below the body. This is no longer so for those who have changed and evolved into new beings. What we ask for you to do is to become aware and acquainted with the ways of the ways the body has shifted and changed within the years past. What we want you to know is the standard form of chakras you are used to are the straight line 1 through 7, which you guys understand what that means, down through the body. What we are doing is dissipating forms of the chakras that have existed in the past. Sorry, typo. We are combining them together so there is one major component in the body. As you evolve, you become whole. This is the whole. What we are asking you to do what we are asking you to understand is as this becomes one, it is being placed within the human. As this energy is being placed within the body, the circular motion will flip to go around the body like a hula hoop. And the hula hoop is Ricky's term. We figured everybody understands. So what they're saying is that what we've been taught is the chakras are flat and they go in this circular motion. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so what's happening is that they're flipping to where they're going around the body like a hula hoop. Like if you were doing a hula hoop. You guys remember everybody know what a hula hoop
Yes.
is? You kids
Let's
might
see that
not.
again, Lisa.
You youngsters might not, but I do. Okay, so that energy system.
I'm young, I need a demonstration.
And obviously, I can't probably use a hula hoop, but I can pretend like I am. Okay, so as the energy system is going around us, so we all understand how it's going from this motion to this motion, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That makes much more sense anyway.
Okay, it's like a hula hoop. Okay, so the energy that is residing within your body was created by God. You see it as the essence of God that resonates with all. What you are seeing is the change from the portal view. We are pulling energy in through the chakra portal. Once you become full, you have all the energy your body needs to exist. This is when the shift or the change happens. You no longer need to pull in outside energy. The energetic connection will be from heaven and earth. It is coming down and connecting you to the center core of the earth. It is the God light coming into the body, then tying the body to heaven and earth. So what they're saying is that the energy is coming down through you, and then down to the ground and connecting you to the core of the earth, so that you're anchored up and down. Does that make sense? Okay, we good with that? Okay. Now I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, this is where the records are taking over. My guides are. What we would like to do next is have Ricky. Joyce and I are going to be examples of what Ricky sees. So she can describe to you what she sees in us as far as what's changed. Do you want Joyce to come up here?
Sure. I'm going to explain first. The ones that know me know that it's like almost a plate on the top of your head and on the bottom of your feet. I don't see the reaching up anymore. Sometimes I see higher chakras and it's almost like an aura. It's not an aura, but I can see that you're reaching up to grasp energy, right? A lot of you though, you have it right here, from literally the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and when you draw it in, breathe in from both. And I tell people to connect that way because that's the way I see it. And so that explains what she's seeing. The things are changing. I never learned the way that you guys learned it. So I was never taught to learn something specific. The colors that you guys know are also changing. So don't limit yourself to the color that they say, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. Because most of the colors may have some green in it, like for your heart, for instance. This mixed with 2, 3, sometimes up to 6 other colors, because you're combining all of them. So don't limit yourself to what you're supposed to see in this chakra area, because it's changing. And it's like, I actually went and bought this so I could explain. This is the way your chakra system, and you've been taught. Your body's somewhere in the middle, right? And you're reaching up, but actually it's doing this. And then you're in the body. Does that make sense?
So when you're together, is that at the heart?
Right, it comes together, and it's almost like it's right through here, and this is the energy that you're drawing from here to here, and it's more compact. You're not reaching up to get it. It just kind of collapses on each other.
Is there people
Basically
that
from
reach
here to
up,
here.
like the people that you see the higher lights?
A lot of you now, I see you're still reaching up to get your energy. You don't believe you have it already within you. So a lot of you are still reaching and trying to pull it down to you when it's part of you.
Like we're
And
our
that's what
own
she's trying
battery
to tell
now.
you. Huh?
Like we're our own battery now.
Kind of, like she says, the energy flows, but even the higher dimensions are almost like this collapsible plate, or like this plate on top of your head, full of all the connections up there, just sitting right there, waiting for you to pull energy from it. So it's already actually a part of your physical body, if that makes sense. Does any of that make sense? Okay, well, okay, so like with Lisa, when she sat in the pyramid, I was totally confused. And I sat there, I was scratching my head, and I was like, okay, she's gonna think I'm crazy because I don't know what I'm seeing. Like her third eye, for instance, it looks, have you guys saw an aura quartz? You know an aura quartz?
Yeah, rainbow, white rainbowish.
Like a rainbowy color, right. It's kind of metallic, whatever way you turn it, you see different colors in it. She's got a halo that goes around her head like this for her third eye. And it's like an aura quartz to me. Her heart chakra, like most of you guys talk about the soul chakra being up here, or soul connection. What is it? It's up here. It's actually right here. You've got your heart chakra, your high heart, you got your soul connection, and then you've got something that looks like a diamond. And she's got all that. And she's explained it really well before. And it's like somebody muddies it up, like if it's like wet paint, and you run your fingers through it. It's all kind of combined together. So she's got that. And the thing is, she's compact. She's not drawing energy from up here. It's literally like from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet, and it's compact. So I see the rainbow color here, but I see the green, it's like a magenta, like a diamond color, and all the different facets of the diamond, and like a pinkish color right here in her heart. The thing is, with her other chakras that you guys would talk about, the root being the red and orange and the yellow being the solar and going up, it looks like hula hoops of light, and they blend together where they touch. So it shows that she's combining them. So the colors are combining, they're changing. You've got specks of different colors in all of them. Does any of that make sense to you? Okay, so it completely confuses me because I've never learned what you guys really do. I mean, I understand the way the chakras work.
The energies mix it.
Yes, the colors of the energies that you guys perceive are actually not exactly right because they've got other colors mixed with them. Everybody's is changing. I don't see a single person in here that doesn't have it. Like with her, I see, and actually Joyous also, I see a second throat chakra. And it's for like, I guess channeling or speaking is the way that I perceive it. I see it with both of them. I asked her today what she'd been doing differently because things were more compact and changing and things were brighter and less muddy looking, like less thick, the color. It's more bright and it's like the colors blend and overlap, if that makes any sense. But they go this way, not this way. So, is that all you really want me to explain? I mean, but
You want to describe Joyous?
yeah, so with Joyous, her chakras are brighter, and the thing is, they're connecting. So I know that she's changing and she's doing work. The thing is that I had to ask them earlier. They're changing. They're brighter. I see all the different colors in her heart area. The thing is with Joyous, I don't see the halo. But I see different parts. It's like different colors around the third eye area, and it's like she's got two here, and one back here, and one up here. It's not connected, but it's not far. You know what I mean? So everybody changes at a different rate. Sometimes I'm gonna see an extra chakra somewhere. Healers, I see your hands usually glow. To me, shows me you're a healer. Everybody changes differently. And with her, she's working on hers. As the energy changes, I guess your DNA kind of changes along with it. She said it's kind of part and parcel. When one happens, the one kind of follows. So I see that sometimes too. And it just depends. Everybody's at a different stage in their progression. Nobody's left behind. Nobody's not doing something right. It's just we're all changing at different rates. So nobody's wrong or right.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about what she was saying?
How does that, I'm not a, what are you certified in?
Healing touch.
Healing touch. How does-
too,
yeah.
don't touch.
How does that affect the healing touch?
We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Okay, hold on to that question, because I'll ask the records that question. But do you guys have anything for Ricky right now that?
Yes, Ricky. Ricky, when you see the spiral, is it like a spiral that goes in all of us on the same side? Or some spirals are going different side? Because I did hear a theory about this, so I was wondering if you know anything about it.
One you're releasing and one you're gathering or something like that?
I feel it's mostly energetically
That's
opposite to one another. So if you meet somebody that has like the different spiral, when you meet somebody and you just really don't know why you dislike or like that person. So it can depend on the spiral also being in a different direction than the other person. Is that something you have heard
Honestly,
about?
I don't. I know that they talk about in shamanism rotating your chakras the opposite way. You're a shaman, aren't you? Something that they say, or, yeah, I've heard that on several different occasions, that you rotate it in the opposite direction to clear it or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't see it like that.
Okay.
I see it like, I say it hula hoop because it's the best way I can describe it. It's literally like light shining. And I know it's rotating, I can feel it. I feel the energy coming off of people. Do I see the actual spin? No, because it's at such a high rate that I can't see the physical spin. So if I can tell you this is rotating this way or if it's rotating this way.
Maybe
I don't
because
see it, but-
I'm wondering if maybe because we used to operate more masculine, feminine, somebody was more dominant, but when it comes together and fuses, it's both of them, and maybe that expounds us to kind of the more fifth dimensional or holographic thing, so it's wider than the 2D or 3D, flat stuff we're used to.
Because of
Maybe.
the balance of energy?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
because it says we don't have to gather energy from other people anymore, so it's not a masculine, feminine, like the masculine needs the feminine outside of themselves, you've got it inside, so it's,
Yeah.
Yes.
maybe they're both, maybe we've got both of them going, both directions.
That makes sense.
Go ahead.
Okay, what we're here to tell you is that once the ignition has taken place and the energetic system becomes as one, you become one with all. You are created to be equal, and as being equal, you see that you are all the same. All love and light are as one. As you are connected as one human being, you are connected to all that is. There is no discrimination between the negative or the positive or the male or the female. It's not negative energy or positive energy, and it's not the male or the female, like you have the two ends that come together, like when you put in a plug. There's no longer that scenario of being, you don't have to have the polarity anymore. So, because what's happening is it's all becoming one, and it's like, what I'm looking at is like the symbolism of a crystal ball. Remember back in the fairy tales that you would see a crystal ball and you would have there would be like a haze or a fog that would be inside that ball, and it would just be floating around and being, you guys remember Snow White? Telling me. So when you're looking in this ball, it's all compact in a ball, but there's an energy that's within there that's moving around freely, and it's moving at will, as it pleases. Does that make sense? Okay, so this energy that is being held within here is that energy. It is all one. It is one with all. And so there is no more. What you were saying is you knew it, you didn't know you knew it, but yes, there is no more of that polarity. There's no more male or female or masculine or feminine, because we're all one. And it doesn't matter anymore. Now, with that being said, I'm jumping in and yes, you need to say it. Okay, on this realm, in this lifetime, in the 3D world, obviously there is male and female. You have to have male and female in order to thank you, to have babies. Okay, we have to have babies, and you have to have those relationships. However, the relationships will change and become more equal. It's not going to be as much as when you have two human beings that are wholly, completely as one, there's not a dominant force. Does that make sense? It's not like that I'm the man and I'm the female. It's not that stereotypical way that we were raised to believe. It becomes equal, and you are one, and you are connected with all. And so as I'm connected, you're whole and I'm whole, we have an equal relationship. Now, and so it changes the dynamics of how you look at another individual, and it's not going to be the same as we see it now with the two different polarities. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you, because I never learned any of
Well-
like I said, I'm not here to deter, but I just tell you to see.
Like I said, I don't know anything. It's done. So, Okay, so,
I can go through each of you individually if you like afterwards and let you know what I see within you. The colors, how they're combining, whether you're still reaching up or what's kind of coming together, what's coming together a little bit quicker. I'm more than happy to go through it, each of you. I don't know what all they have planned for the rest of the class, but I'm here if you want to see what is going on within your energy body.
so what we'll do is, I'll finish my part, whatever, I do not know what's in store yet. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. But then when we get finished, I'm not sure how much time it is, it's 7:20 right now, and we scheduled this until 8:30, so if we run over, then we'll figure out how to do this, so if you guys do want Ricky to look at you, then you'll have the opportunity to do so, but it may not be in front of everybody, it may be in a room, or somehow we'll figure it out. Okay, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's see what we have to say first. Okay, so what information would you like to provide us with at this point? What we want you to know is that you all have the ability to shift and change into the crystalline being as we speak of. As you change into the crystalline body, you'll begin to recognize that the shift and changing in the chakra system becomes first. It's the first step into the process. And as you have become accustomed to the old paradigm, the old standard of what is being recognized as chakra, as the chakra system, it is paramount that you understand and be open to the reality that this may not be so any longer. As long as you hold on to the old belief and the way that it has been taught that these symbols, or no, they're sticking with symbols, as these symbols are in place, and then it will be no more, you will understand and you'll begin to see that if you hold on to the old truth, the ability to allow your being to shift will become harder and harder. So what they're saying is, it's kind of what's going on with the universe anyway. If we're taught that this is the way that it is, how many books have you read? How many symbols have you seen? That these are the colors, these are the meanings, this is it. This is the chakra system. It's been taught for thousands and thousands of years. So as long as you hold in your heart that that is the only way, the only belief, then you will never allow this to be set free and allow the shift to occur, because it's in your mind. It's almost, they're saying, it's like the same belief is that if you only believe in yourself that you're capable of doing only one thing, you'll only do that one thing, because you'll never step out of that box and allow yourself to do anything different. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so where I was talking about ruffling feathers, this is what I'm saying, because this is a system that's been taught as it is for thousands and thousands of years. And for me to stand in front of you and say, let it go, let it go. Do not hold on to that in your mind. It does not have to be that way. Nothing has to be the way that it's put in print. Nothing has to be the way that it's taught. Nothing has to believe the way that you're told to believe. It doesn't have to be that way. It's up to you as the individual to allow yourself to be free, open up your mind, and experience the experiences that are there for you to be had. Okay? That makes sense? Okay, so what we're asking you to do is to recognize at this time that this information is being provided to you as we open the invitation for you to be set free and allow you to become your true self. If you allow this resistance to reside within your being, your heart will break. You will experience sadness in not understanding or knowing who you truly are and where you can truly go. What we would like for you to do is set yourself free, and we would like to be able to assist you in this journey. And as you become aware of what is available to you, and you mention or you say I am free and I am ready, we will put upon you the light of God in order to create this energy system to allow you to know who you truly are, where you truly have come from, and the utmost happiness that you can possibly be abound in. Okay, and so they're laughing and saying, okay, are you guys ready? Okay, they want to do an energetic thing on everybody in the room. What we would like for you to do is simply put your feet on the ground. Okay, so this is my disclosure. They're using the term God. That's the term that I use for the Creator. If you guys are not comfortable with the word God, use whatever you feel comfortable with. It's just what I'm using, okay? What we would like for you to do is put your feet firmly on the ground. As you ask for the resistance to be released, please do so now. Simply use the words, I release the resistance that resides within my being, and I will no longer hold on to thoughts or preconceived ideas of what I should be. I am the light of God, and I provide this body in order to transition and transcend to the highest energy available to me at this time. We ask that you sit with patience as we are guiding and giving you the love and the energy that is recommended at this time. As we give you this gift of light, we are giving you the ability to accept the changes that are occurring within your being at this time. What life is suggesting is that there is a new understanding of living in this realm of consciousness. And what we're asking you to do is to recognize that the current level of existence is far beyond the belief that God has created the heavenly universe. What we are asking you to do is to recognize that as you shift and change and accept the light and the energy that is abound within your being, you will gain a new level of consciousness that is far above the human realm. What we are giving you at this time is the ability to shift your consciousness from one realm to another. As you do this, you will reside within the body of the current realm and the consciousness of another. As this is transpiring, this will be an evolvement. And this will not happen instantly. It will happen gradually as you shift and change to accept the information, the knowledge, and the frequency that will be created in order for you to move above the earthly existence into the heavenly. And this is for you at this point. Amen. Okay, they're saying there's questions to be asked. So does anybody want to ask a question? Start. Yes.
So with the changes that are happening, I mean, and I know like what you just said as far as the shifts about releasing and the resistance and things like that. My specific question is there going to be pain felt in the physical body? And if so, what is that area?
There will be no pain. It is a shift, it's a gradual shift, it's an energetic feeling that you might become dizzy. You might feel something that's moving around. That they're saying, use me as an example. Okay, so because I'm a body worker, I'm very sensitive to energy, and it's the way I was trained. And so I could feel the energy moving when my chakras were going in this direction. I could feel them. And then as it began to shift, I felt them going in this direction. I feel like it's spinning like around my shoulders. That's how I felt it. There was no pain. They're laughing and saying it's not like being prodded by an electric prod. It's not that simple. I mean, it's not like you're done. It's not going to be anything like that. It's a gradual shift and change that if you're sensitive to your body, you can feel that change. If you're not, if you are, they're using the term dense, which just means you have a thicker, you're not as sensitive to energy. If you're more dense, you may just feel like there's pressure in your chest, that there may be some spinning in your chest, something that might be like a heartbeat that you might feel that's a little bit different than what you felt before. It might be more prominent, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's a gentle shift. And this is why we're so specific in doing this in a gentle, subtle way, as we don't want you to freak out. We don't want you to think you're having a heart attack or something that painful. They're laughing and saying, if you feel anything like that, you need to go to the doctor. Okay, it's not them. There's other health issues to be conscious of, and that's actually not a joke. They're being serious about it. So it's a very subtle shift. Does that answer your question? Sure. Thank you. More questions?
There was a question about healing touch and how hands-on body work is an issue.
Any type of healing.
Yeah. When you're doing energetic body work, it is important for you to go with the flow. Go with the flow of energy that you feel. They're saying, like, okay, so they're using me as an example. Okay, so right now, the way that my hand is spinning, there's an energy field that is around me in this area that I pick up. And this is just why I'm that sensitive to energy, that when I did healing touch work, I can put my hand over a body and a chakra, and I can just set my hand there and I can feel it. Like, put your hand out. Okay, so this is the way your energy's going. I mean, I can just flow with the energy. And this is what the example is. So that when you're working on a body and you feel that there's an energy flow, work with it. Don't shift it. Don't say, oh, you got this great big energy form, which you do. Hi, honey. You have a great big energy flow right here, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to have 7. So we're going to break all this up, and we're going to start with the 7th chakra, start with your crown, and then we're going to go to your 3rd eye, and then we're going to make sure that all those stay there, and we're going to force them to go back the way that they're supposed to. Don't do that, because you're undoing everything that they're saying that we've done. So when you're doing any type of energy work, make sure that you're going with the flow. And they're laughing and saying people aren't as messed up as you think they are. A lot of times people have energetic shifts and changes that are purposeful. As we may be changing the consciousness of the universe, we're also changing the consciousness of the individual. And if you allow us to shift and change, then there's going to be different directions that the energy's going in. It doesn't necessarily even mean that it's going to be in those 7 specific chakras. And what I'm seeing is that it may be going zigzag, it may be going in a swishy motion, it may be something different than what we were taught or what we were told. So go with that flow and ask your everyone in here that does, how many people of you do energy work? Okay, everyone in here that does energy work is sympathetic enough to understand that, and they're using the term sympathetic, which is intuitive to me, is intuitive enough to understand what you're doing. So when you're working on a body, and you feel something maybe out of whack, and they're laughing and saying, but you guys know if you get a dark spot, like if you have the energy field and there's a dark spot in it, and you're told that that's a place that needs to be healed, that's different. That's not the same thing as standing on top of each chakra and saying, okay, here's your heart chakra, it's supposed to be turning this way and it's going this way. Don't be jacking with it. Leave it alone. Let it go the direction it's going, because it's also healing the body itself. It has its own energy flow, and every human being that is alive has been given an energy flow in order to heal the body. What they're saying is that there's no one out there that is purposely undoing their energetic shift. The body works in order to heal itself. Everything that's energetic within the body, and that they're saying this is why you have the positive, negative protons. Everything works together as like a magnet that helps to everything to flow, and your body is a healing instrument. It heals itself. And now I know, because I did healing touch too. I'm a massage therapist. I have been for almost 30 years. I get what I'm saying is not what we were taught in healing touch. Okay? Disclaimer. You guys remember I said I was going to ruffle feathers. Sorry. But what the energetic system is that you need to understand is that the body is made to heal itself. Sometimes it needs help, and that's me saying that. But typically, and like I'm looking at you, Joe, because you happen to be in front of me, you got a t-shirt with cool sunglasses on. You got my attention. Joe's body is flowing exactly how it should. He's in that energetic flow exactly the way that it is. But if I started pinpointing points on him, he may be out of whack according to my brain and what I was taught. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start turning something the wrong way. But for him, he's flowing exactly how he needs to flow, because it's the way that everything is balanced within his body. But if there's a dark spot, or if there's an energy spot that's like in the aura, or someplace that may be a little bit different than these specific portals, chakras that are, because we know that there's, 100 chakras within a body. That dark spot or that tear or that injury that's somewhere in that auric field or outside of the body that needs to be healed is different than changing the energy flow within a body. We don't want to change the energetic flow of a body. Does that make sense? Okay, so who asked the question? You, Susan,
Well,
you
I
asked the
asked it
question.
just because
Just
I'm
because you're
interested.
curious?
Well, also because the work I do, if there's some block restrictions you've created in a past life, it could be affecting a particular chakra. I didn't know how to ask that, so I
Yeah,
asked
right.
that.
It's not even relevant. It's not relevant anymore. What we're asking you to do is to basically forget about the past lives. We're working on the present human body. We're working on what's right here. And we have the control of what's going on right here. And I'm arguing with what they're saying, because we all know that we have past life issues. That's just out there. What we recognize is that there's emotional blockages that may have been brought in from a past life. Emotional blockages are different than what the energetic flow is, and this is what we want you to recognize. You do not have the ability to change what the energetic flow is if we're in control. What we want you to know is that if you have an emotion that you're having to deal with or let go of, that's a different aspect than what we're saying as far as what the energy flow is and what the chakra system is doing as far as collapsing.
That makes total sense to me.
Okay?
Because it all is based upon your emotion and how you deal with that, so.
Yeah. Okay, so because now we want to make sure that you understand, and what was written on this little piece of paper that I handed out, that's just one little sentence, is that what is occurring is the body's shifting to a higher level of consciousness.
Right.
It's the frequency of the body that's changing. Okay, so it doesn't have to do with memories. It doesn't have to do with that specifically. When we recognize, and they're laughing and using at me, because I have all kinds of shit. I've
We
got
all
all
do.
kinds, we all do, but I've shifted, okay, and I've changed, and my body has changed. And my chakras are not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And nobody's going to touch me and mess me up. Okay? and do what it's done. I'm not gonna let anybody do that. But what I'm saying, I was just preaching. They're saying, okay, shut up, Lisa. Okay, but what is happening is that when your body is at a level of energy that can accept the frequency change, that's going to occur no matter what emotional state of mind you're in. Okay? So it's a different way of thinking than where you're coming from.
So, for example, let's just say someone has this emotional thought about themselves, self-doubt that they carried with them. So this is what the choices that they make in life. Everything is about choices. We have free will. All the choices that they're making, if you are presented with something, am I going to go with that preconceived idea of self-doubt, or am I going to doubt myself, or am I going to move to the everything's polarity of the opposite? So that hasn't changed, has it?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the energy system, though. It doesn't have to do with this.
Right.
That's a mental state.
Right.
Okay, so what we want you to recognize that there's a difference between the two. Okay, so they're saying go back to what was said. Okay, so on that paper, what the original information was that these 7 chakras, they're basically portals. They look like this. You know, they're like round portals that come out, and the energy comes into those portals. Okay, so that energy is coming into each portal. So what we're saying to you is that when your physical being has reached the capacity of creating the event that is no longer needed, you no longer need to bring in that outside energy, then those will get cut off. And I see it's like a clamp getting put down on them. Because everything that you need, your higher self, your consciousness, all that is within you at that time. So what you need to change your thinking of is that this is an emotional event only in the fact that you have to be open to receive it. If you block it, which is what we were saying from the beginning, is that if your mind, so when you're talking about that emotional state, you have free will. If you stay in the emotional state of, there's 7 chakras and that's the way that it is and I'm not changing my mind, then that's the way you're going to change. But emotionally, if you say, I'm going to set myself free and I'm going to allow all of my helpers and guides to do whatever the heck they want with my body, then they're going to do it. But the difference is between the psychological aspect of it is that your mind creates what happens because you create the blockage to not set it free and allow it to happen. So if you have an issue that's going back to a past life thing that is preventing you, or even a life thing that is preventing you from being open to receive what God has to offer, then you will be blocked. Okay?
And the blocks are what create the pain. The pain's in the resistance, not in the...
In other words, if you're holding on to that without the willingness to let it go.
Correct. Yeah, holding on to old beliefs. Holding on to that belief that this is who I am and this is the way it's going to be, and I'm not going to allow some crazy person to say that it's going to be any different. I'm going to stick to, it's just like a religious belief. You know, if you believe firmly in what the Bible says or whatever the pastor says, and that speaks to you and that feels true to you, it's going to be very hard for you to deviate from that belief. So this is where this is going. If you truly believe that this is the way it's supposed to be, then it's never going to be any different. If you don't believe that we're going to be shifting and changing to a new dimension, then you're not going to shift and change because you're blocking all of the energy that's helping. Okay, so by the way, the reason why we're changing or how we're changing to the 5th dimension is frequency. It's all the energy that's coming within us, and the faster that we vibrate, the higher frequency is what's bringing us up to that level. So if there's any point within your being that you're saying, I don't think so, I'm not sure about that, and you cut that off, then it's going to be very difficult for you to change because you're not going to be open to receive it. The reason why I'm where I am today is because I'm like, bring it on. I'm ready. But I also didn't have beliefs that I had to change. I mean, I had no set belief that I'm supposed to be a certain way. Luckily, I was raised just playing out in the street and playing football in the street or whatever, and not really focusing on something that was a true belief. And I have a lot of knowledge, but I'm not held. I haven't been so stuck in some certain way that it's made me deviate from just saying, hey, if God wants to do something with me, do it. I'm all in. And that's what's helped. It's because I haven't had a belief or that thing of having to break or stop believing and starting all over again. But that's the pattern. That's what you have to do. You have got to let go of what you believe is, because the fifth dimension is nothing that we've ever existed in before. It's nothing that we can even comprehend. We have no idea what's in store for us except for what's been told to us, because we've never been there. We don't know what it's like. We don't know what it's like to be resonating at a level, be a crystalline being or a plasma being. We have no idea what it's like until we get there. And then guess what? It's gonna be like, oh wow, that's cool. Wish I would have known this sooner. So it's something that needs to be told and expressed in a way that there is no knowledge or understanding of what we can tell you that is going to be received because you've never experienced it before. You just can't do it. And I think, and what I was asking is like, do I need to give an example? And it's no. Everybody has something in their life that you've experienced that you couldn't realize what it was going to be like because you've never experienced it before until you experienced it. Then you're like, oh, well, this is what this feels like. Okay? They're saying, use the example. I hear a whole lot that I'm going to be loved like I will never know. I've never understood. I can't understand what it's like to have a heart that is fully open with no restrictions, and understand that this is how God loves you. When you're one with all and you're part of the universe, this is what this feels like. You can't experience it until you get there. I've had glimpses of it. I know what it's like to be one with the universe. I've had that overwhelming love in my heart, but it comes and goes. Depends on the kind of day I'm having. So, what works like? And so that's the difference, is that you're going to be experiencing things that you can't have described to you, because there's nobody in here that has been that's fully in a plasma body that can explain to you what's happening. We need to bring Lisa Trinson Brown here and talk to her. But I mean, I can say what I've gone through and everything that I've gone through to get to this point where I am. There's nobody that I can talk to about it. I mean, all I can say is, wow, that was weird. Dang it. And then I have to ask the records what happened. And luckily I have a source of information that can help me and guide me through it. But it's not something that I can explain or was prepared for, because nobody's been through it. So this is what we want you to know. We want you to know that this is a new experience, and that what you are perceiving is the act of God. What God is giving you is the knowing and the understanding that all is changing. And what is changing for you is the energetic frequency that resides within your body. And as you move forward in your light, the light of God, you will recognize that things are shifting and changing within your being. And this is part of that big shift. Okay, so when we're talking about shifting to the fifth dimension and how our bodies are changing the frequency and all that, the chakra system is only a part of the whole big picture. And in the information that Joy has provided you, there's a whole list of things that are happening and changing. The chakras are just one of those things. It's one of the steps. Okay, so is there any other questions? Yes.
I go out in the backyard this morning and I stand in the grass. I spin my chakras up, but attached to Mother Earth and the Divine. How does that change?
I didn't
My
hear your
chakras
question,
are
I'm sorry.
spinning.
Go ahead and say it again.
I go out in the backyard and I stand in the grass and I do the healing touch thing and spin everything up, and I'm attached to everything. How does that change? If the sh- if the chakras are all becoming one, how
What-
does-
okay,
do I
so-
need to do that anymore, I guess is my question.
No, it's not necessary. Okay, so I'm not familiar with what you're doing, but what's coming to me is to explain to you.
Should we help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me say what I'm saying first, and then, yes, then. Okay, so because what's happening is that you're gonna be connected to the higher in the ground. So what's changing as you become one and the energy's going in this direction and changing you, it's very specific in the description is that well, how they describe it to me is that there's a light coming down through me. This is your energetic system here. And then the light, there's energy coming from the core of the earth up to you so that you're grounded to the core and you're grounded to the heavens. And the energy system is right here. So however you choose to do that ritual, it's not needed.
Okay.
Because what's happening again is that when you reach that energetic point of the energy that's in your system, then it's all going to shut down anyway. It's not even going to be there. It's going to be a different form of connectedness that you're no longer experiencing.
That answers a few other questions.
Okay.
So what about the heart work? The heart, coming from the heart and the heart math, the
Okay,
meditation?
hold on to that question.
Okay,
So Ricky,
go
what
ahead.
were you going to say?
I was gonna say, if you feel like you need to do the cleansing and clearing and stuff, like I tell everybody, is imagine like a white light plate on top of your head and underneath your feet, and pull that into your heart, okay? And imagine, let's just say a lotus flower or something, with every color of the rainbow and every other perceived color you could possibly imagine opening up and starting to spin in like a light wheel.
Well, my other question was, I always felt like, why do I have to do this every morning? Well, that was my thing, is I was having a hard time with that. Who says I detach at night, and why do I have to reattach?
If you're questioning, then it's probably not right for you anyway.
That's true.
Okay, so
So
unless.
that explains it.
Well, I want to say, okay, the reason why you're doing this is because it's a belief. Somebody told you that this is what you need to do, and you're like, okay, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
I have to do it. But it felt uncomfortable to you. There was something that was in you that was like, this just isn't quite right. Something's not right. I don't understand why I have to do it. Because your body doesn't need it. Now that's for you. Now I'm not saying that it's for anybody else, but a lesson for everybody to understand. If you're doing a ritual that is like, I don't understand why I'm doing it, but Mary Jo told me I was supposed to do this, so I'm doing it. It may not be right for you. There may be something else that's there for you. If you find that you're just doing your own thing, that you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it feels like I'm supposed to, that's when you're being guided. That's when you need to follow your intuition. And it's not only for you, it's for everybody in here to hear that message.
Can I say it back another way?
Yes.
The way that- because I do that, and I feel it. I mean, I can feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
The sun, and you can feel all that. And I think what you're saying is, you don't have to do that, just feel it.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Just feel it.
That's what I was
Just
saying.
go out, because you do, I don't know
It's the
about
body.
you, but I do that sometimes anyway. I'll go out and it's just like, oh, well.
Yeah, you're like a white light, like
Yeah,
a radiant,
Yeah.
and the white light with all the different
I'm not
rainbow
thinking
light
anything,
colors.
I'm just
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah.
So,
That's it.
Yeah.
just
Step to the
but the
end.
ritual always works.
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
Yeah,
Because you believe it will.
yeah.
well, there you go.
Well,
Now, so
but
just
it
believe now
works
that
for
this is-
you. The ritual
Yes.
works for you.
Because that's what I was
But
taught.
you may need to find your own ritual.
It feels good, it usually feels good, I just was questioning, okay, but I really don't have to do this.
Okay, if you ask, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's just say, let's use this. Archangel Michael, please come and protect me.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning, do you have to ask him to come back and protect you? When did he
Yeah.
leave? When did he get off?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, my shit is over now.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, or I was taught that you have to keep asking them all the time.
No, if that's your
Why?
intention, that you need to keep asking them over and
Well,
over.
I
Once you ask
understand
them to
that,
help
but
you,
my question was.
Where'd they go?
Why? It's-
Okay, so we're
Kelly,
gonna
we're
break all the
9 to 5?
rules. This is the time for rule breaking. So everybody in here, you can do whatever you'd like to do. You can choose to break the rules or not. Do whatever you want to do. You know, this is the way that I see it. I see that I got a bag of options. And I've gathered information from here and there and all over everywhere, and I've got this bag full of stuff. But it's my job to figure out what I feel comfortable with. You don't have to do everything that you're taught to do, or just because some sacred shaman said, you know, you have to go stand under a tree and they're laughing and saying, okay, that's not a very good example. Okay, all right, so I'm not even gonna go there. Never mind. So, but if somebody tells you, okay, so, well, no, I don't even need to give you an example. I keep coming up with examples and they keep saying, no, don't say it. Okay, so I'm not going to. But you all understand that if you have 20 different ways to do one thing, you don't have to do all 20 of them. Pick the one thing that feels right to you, or do something crazy and just say, this is what I want, how do I do it? Follow your intuition, open your mind up and just like what I was doing when I was working on you guys when they're guiding me, and I'm walking around going, ooh, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what they're saying. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing what they're guiding me to do without thinking about it. I don't get my mind into it. I don't ask questions. I just follow the guidance. If you guys are open enough that you can get your head out of it and you can listen to what's being guided after you ask the question, no matter how silly it is or how crazy it looks or whatever it is, open yourself up and allow it to happen. God is giving you the gift to be able to receive any information that you need in order to move forward in your journey. You simply have to be open enough to do it. So as you get your mind out of your thoughts and you become open, you become receptive to the information and the guidance that is being given to you in order for you to go down your path. This is what we're simply asking you to do. Okay, Suzanne, what was your question?
I was thinking about when you were talking about all of the centers becoming one. A lot of our work we've been doing is coming from heart chakra and letting the heart take over the whole, just as interest, because it's such a common place to want to come from.
Mm-hmm. It's because that's where everything's centered. Mm-hmm. Again, what we want you to recognize is that the heart is not one. The heart is intermingled with the soul. The soul resides within the heart. The soul is the core connection that is connected with the Creator. And so as we look at this energetic system that resides within this space, we're feeding our soul. We're feeding God. And so as God in our heart and our soul all resides here, it's all intermingled together. So as we talk about the energetic system, this is it. This is the center and the core of your light. And the light is what's being fed. It's your soul. And so as that soul's being fed, your heart's being fed, and vice versa. And then that becomes what radiates and what's around you. That becomes God's creation. It's God-like. It's God-like. And that's what all this energy system is about, and that's what the heart and the soul is about.
It's clear.
That's pretty clear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. Okay, any other questions? Yeah.
Will you be bringing forth, guides, a new form of healing touch or Reiki energy or anything like that? A new system?
There's always energetic systems that have been given to specific individuals that have the ability to be creative enough to listen to the guidance that's being given. It's an evolution. I mean, it's constant. People that are open. Okay, so they're saying, use the example of. Okay, so I'm just going to use you because you're right here in front of me, and I think you do healing touch as well.
I'm fixing to go to level 3, so I'm not done yet. And that's like now, I'm like, well, do you mean to finish it? It's like, what do I need to do now? It's like,
so Kissy does healing touch or Reiki?
Both.
Okay, so she was taught a specific protocol, but Kissy has her own gift. She's very open, and she's a beautiful light, but she's open to what she's doing. So you can be taught a specific guideline, a specific protocol, but when you're doing it, open your mind up and allow your intuition, your guidance, those guides to direct you in what direction you need to go. And that's in any practice that you do. So, and I taught massage therapy as well. So I understand that I used to run a massage therapy school as a director, and you have to teach certain courses. I was in the state of Louisiana. They have a specific curriculum that they have to use, and you have to teach so many different classes that fit that curriculum. But what I learned in that, again, I have my bag of tricks. I learned how to do deep tissue. I learned how to do neuromuscular therapy. I learned how to do Swedish massage. I learned how to do shiatsu. So I had this array of different techniques that I knew how to use. But when I got out of school and I started actually practicing, I put my hands on the body and I would start with a specific routine. But I was open enough to listen to the guidance, that if my guidance said put your hand on the knee and put your hand on the shoulder and hold that until you feel a balance, that's what I would do. It's working intuitively. And that's what's being taught. People are working intuitively all the time. You know, they're working with energy systems all the time, but they don't recognize it because it's not a specific step 1, step 2, it's not a specific protocol. So if you go and you learn some technique, what we're asking you to do is simply be open enough to listen to the guidance that's being given to you, and that's going to be what you're doing. And I'm going to say my 2 cents worth. How many body workers are in here? Okay, not everybody, but my thing is about when you're working on a body, I was taught old school. I was taught by the 70s massage therapist. Yes, I'm old. No, but everybody that taught me was. Well, yes, I was alive in the 70s. I'm 55. Yes, I was very much alive in the 70s.
was caught on tape.
But anyway,
Can you actually, because some people are new and some people forget vocabulary words. So body work, meaning when you touch someone, you can make them feel better, or
No, I'm talking about specifically massage therapy,
massage
energy work, don't touch. So, but when I was taught to do massage therapy intuitively, that's the way that the old people used to do massage. They didn't even really have a protocol. It was specifically that you worked with your mind open enough and you listened to your guidance, and that's the way that I was taught. So, in a very roundabout question, the question that you answered, the very roundabout answer, but the question that you asked was, were there going to be new techniques that come in? There constantly are, always. And somebody's going to come up with a technique and they'll put a new name on it, just like cranial sacral or anything else that there is. You know, there's always going to be new techniques that come out, always. So yes, to answer your question.
Thank you.
And after I went on that big old rampage, sorry guys. Okay, so are there any other questions?
It wasn't a question, but I had, when you were answering Suzanne's question, what came to me is that we're not a soul in the universe, we're a universe in a soul.
Yes. Good. You need to put that in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
And as the universe resides within us, again, what we want you to recognize is that you are one with all. And as you begin to shift and you begin to change into this circular motion, you're going to recognize that this is creating the evolution and the understanding that you are all with one with all and all with one. We are all one. Mm-hmm. We are all connected. Every single one of us in this room, everything that's living plant, everything out there, everything in the whole universe, we are all connected with. Just is what it is. Yeah. But this makes it more relevant and more easily understood when you actually gain that understanding of how all of this is shifting and changing within you. Because on that 3rd level, people are a little bit selfish and they don't understand that we're all connected. They think we're all individuals.
Right.
And so that's where that shift, when the shift in understanding changes, all of this helps to change as well.
I just have a question.
Yep.
Auras.
Uh-huh.
Now, is that gonna be the same? 'Cause since the chakras colors are different, and some people, go by the aura. This color is that with the chakras.
Do what? The auras are not gonna be anymore. I'm just telling you that now. I asked Chris the other day, I was like, what are you gonna do about aura photography? When everything changes, have you not seen any change yet? She was like, no, I really haven't experienced any change yet. And maybe it's also too new and people aren't expressing it. They're not allowing themselves to go with the flow. So maybe that's why she's not seeing a change. But yeah, I don't think that the aura has nothing to do with what I see.
So what do you mean, the aura? Different colors? Is it gonna be?
You know how the aura is they say the energy field around you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, your chakras are gonna be taking up that energy field around you. So eventually, your aura depends on your mood. You can be really happy and then get pissed off the second, and your aura is gonna be different. It's not reliable. Your chakras are reliable. It tells you where the problem is, or if you need to work on something. But because it's collapsing into one, and I see it collapsing into almost like a diamond, to where it has all different facets and colors. When it goes into that, there's not going to be any more aura.
So
It's all, it's just,
You get all
it's
the
just that.
colors.
So what about if you see them? So do I just disregard it? when
Yeah,
I see
you
it?
No,
I
well,
just
right
see
now,
anything else?
you're seeing the energy field around the person.
Okay.
What you're seeing is their emotion, their emotional imprint out here on everything. And that's the best way I can describe it, is it's like an emotional imprint around you. It's just not reliable, though. I mean, depends on your mood. People can change their auras. It's just not real reliable. But the thing is, if you look at it the same way with the chakras, try not to look at it like they're supposed to be in a certain place, or they're supposed to be a certain color. And allow yourself to see in the person with the same way you would look at an aura. You can see the chakras too. Just don't go by what you've been taught. Keep an open mind. It's like with bending spoons. People say, oh, but you see a spin and you let your mind wander. You think outside the box. And guess what? You can do it too. It's the same thing with seeing the chakras. Quit putting yourself in the box and limiting what you can see, and you'll be able to see it.
And the other thing that I'm getting is that don't try to analyze it.
Mm-mm.
It's not necessary that you figure out what every person's emotion is at the time when you're getting a glimpse of what, it's almost like you're getting an insight into that person. It's almost an invasion of their privacy. You don't need to analyze what's going on with them. It just let it be. Like you see it, it's there. Okay. And because everything is changing. Now the other thing that I want to say is that what we're seeing, there's not a whole lot of crystalline beings that are wandering around Earth. And there's not a whole lot that we can say, like when we're talking about Krissa does aura pictures, takes pictures of the aura. She probably hasn't taken very many pictures of a true 100% crystalline being. So we still have those remnants because we're still in that phase. We haven't made it to that crystalline being point. So if she started taking pictures of crystalline beings, then we'll find out what color the aura is. and the reason why, okay, now it's coming to me, is also because when you're in that crystalline state, your whole emotional state's different. You're at a sense of peace 24/7. You're connected in a different way. Everything is different. You don't have the same emotions as we do. There's no jealousy, there's no envy, there's no ego, there's no competition. All of those things that we experience on this level of 3D is going to be gone. Those are what affect the colors and the emotions. Okay? So who in here can say that they're past that? I can't.
Neither.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Someday.
Yeah. I hope. Hope sooner than later. So how can we say what's going to happen? Again, that's one of those things that we've never experienced. We'll find out when it happens.
I just want to say, I see it as we're all becoming the body of God. When we activate, we become one large body, and we're all cells working for the same cause. Instead of being divided and at war, we're finally coming together once we get all that light inside of us, and then we're going to be able to do the purpose of the giant being, right?
Yeah.
And the body's going to be working in harmony. And I think of it because I've had crazy experiences. There's the sun outside of our solar system, and right now we've been Earth, we've been matter, we've been very 3D and dense. But where are we going? We want to be radiant like a sun, and to do that, that's like saying we only use 10% of our brain. Well, our brain's waking up, and as that happens, the frequency increases, and then the light load increases. And then when you have all that light and it's shining, then you are a conduit in the world, and you're doing your thing, and you don't see, there's not the judgment, there's not the lack. I was seeing you explain the chakra systems, and it was all attachment. It was all cords, and I've experienced that with all this clearing lately. It's just been everything's just cleared. The past is like a clean slate, and they're like, oh, what's going on now?
Well, and that's the point of the past is clearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearing as you open up. What was once important to you is no longer important to you. It's fading, and that's all part of this process. It's all part of becoming that crystalline being. Is that once you open up and you recognize that there is much more to be what is that if you allow us to take control and work on allowing you to shift and you believe, you'll find that those past beliefs fade away without any effort whatsoever. And we've talked about this before. For those of you who have been before, I mean, this is a constant theme. You know, once you say, hey, I'm ready, it's all good, you guys do whatever you want to do, all of a sudden your beliefs start changing, preconceived ideas start disappearing. I mean, it's no effort in letting go of stuff that's happened in the past and past beliefs and thoughts and those things that burden us. They just fade away. And I've experienced it. I know it. I can speak from my own self. Now, it's not everything. It's not everything, but it's a lot. There's a lot of things that fade and shift away with no effort once you become less resistant. And it's like almost that. And we keep repeating ourselves over and over again. As long as you stay in that belief that that's the way that you're supposed to be, it'll constantly be there. But once you say, I'm ready to let it go, then it'll let go.
And it happens that fast.
That fast. It does. And you can say that why?
Yeah, because
Have you
it's
experienced
happening.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Okay, so this was, I don't always know what I'm doing or saying because I go in and out. Did this explain what's shifting and changing within the chakra system to the extent that you guys were expecting?
What part that I was expecting, I didn't know what I was expecting, so.
Okay.
Great point.
I just showed up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to, yeah.
That was good,
See what it was.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I think that we made it clear that the chakra system is changing, and let it change. It's just the way that it is, and you guys can either do it or not, but there's no effort in trying to make it happen. Once you get open enough to it and allow yourself to be set free, God will take control and will release all that needs to be released at the time needed. Okay? Okay, Ricky, what do you want to do now?
I can have anybody who wants to just come over and I can explain it to them, or I can do it in your room to where they could do it that way. It's private for each of them. It's however they feel most comfortable. They want to do it in like a private setting.
Okay,
It won't be
so,
more than a couple minutes per person.
okay, so it's 8:15 right now and we scheduled it till 8:30. Is there anybody that wants to stand in front of the group and allow Ricky to read their aura, just so that people can kind of get an idea of what she sees?
I do.
Okay, Ricky, your turn. Okay. All right.
It's my bedtime. Can I go? There you go.
I'll let you go.
Hey, hi, are you? I'm Ricky.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so I am seeing the colors and they're kind of separated. You do have 3 or 4 colors mixed here, so I think you are opening your heart and stuff, and your crown is changing. So I don't know if you're working on, but you think your intuition comes from here, and your crown, you're opening this up. Focus more on opening here, but this is changing. So I think you're gonna start receiving a little bit different anyway, as long as you allow yourself to let it flow. But you're opening here, but this is changing. So okay, thank you. You're welcome. Come on, Casey.
Raise your hand if you didn't get the papers over here, so I can.
Okay, so what I assume to do is I do see the spot like on top of the head and down. So I know you're receiving it, then it's the impact. There is a disconnect. Right into your and then right on your front. There's 2. So I think you worked all up here. I know you worked on this, but you forgot about all of this. So it's trying to catch up. But you've got a mixture, and like she explained before, it's almost like paint, when you put. So all
working on connecting everything here. And you're almost there here, but you still need some work here connecting it and making it wonderful. Does that make sense? Like all connect. But you got a little bit more, the lower part. But you've been working on this and you've been neglecting this. But you're getting there. No, I just need help. Yeah, girl. That's probably what's going on with you. Okay, come on. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, how are you? I'm Ricky.
John?
Nice to meet you, John. Okay, so what I'm seeing with you is several, like with most of the people that I see, you have two here. So it looks like you're blending here and here. There's something with your crown also. I don't know if this is the way you've always connected. Like you think that everything just comes through here and this is where you get your information and you process it here?
Kind of subconsciously,
Okay,
yeah.
right. So that's why I'm seeing it a little bit different colored. This has a couple of different colors in it, your heart area. I am seeing the diamond also there with the multifaceted. You're very connected to your root, your sacral, and your solar, because those are all like almost blending.
Yes.
So just do a little bit more here. You're getting there.
Right.
You're doing really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, Dan. Come on. Come on down. You honestly, I will have to admit, are probably the closest thing to Lisa that I saw. Because I do see the ring around the third eye. The funny thing is remember how I told you before I saw your feet on fire? I don't know what that's about. Somehow I feel like you're connecting. All your colors do blend together, and you've got like all your colors right in here. But I think you're already aware of this. Plus, you know that you also have the two here. When I think a lot of you that use what is it called, light language.
Yeah.
I think a lot of you guys, maybe that's why I see it. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if I have one. I don't do that, but I wish I could. I think it's awesome. But so it's all connected. The thing is, you've got a lot of color here. You've got a whole lot. But your color isn't like it's blend into each other. It literally is like I see with her, I see like the aura quartz where you turn to different colors. It looks like that, but it's kind of spinning, and it's got like blues, gold, silver, yellows.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like I said, you're the closest to like, I don't understand what's going on because you're different. Like Lisa, I see hers in like right here, but all of her colors blend. The thing is, all your colors seem to blend up to here. And I do see this area around. It's not completely connected to the back, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. Like, I feel it like disconnect. But you do have a lot of colors here, so I think you're connecting in the right way, and you're just like right there on that cusp. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably why you have so many questions and then I answer, and you're like, yeah, it's gonna come, it's gonna come. I think this is why, because you're just waiting for it to all come together. You're doing good.
Well, it's all good.
I love you, girl. I love you too. Okay. Who else?
Me?
Yeah, Mom.
I just want to say, remember there is no right or wrong.
No, there's no right or wrong. Everybody is just at a different stage and level of growth, and so no one is ever better than the other.
Right.
So. Okay. You're still connecting a little bit through here. Because I do see light come through you. So, and that's why I looked down at your feet to see if I saw it down by your feet. So somehow you're managing light through you. I do see the colors, but the thing is it's no one solid color. It's almost like
Okay, like if you see a movie projector light and you've got red, or let's say 3D, like say if you're looking at something in 3D and you got the reds and the blues, but say all of them are coming out, so you can distinguish the colors, but they're all together in a way. Does that make sense? Why the light shines straight through? I haven't saw that one, so I'm not sure what you're doing to connect this way. But I think that's close to what she's talking about, is this channeling through you. Because I see light coming directly through you. I do see the colors in the bands, but like I said, they're almost like a translucent bright color. And they're not thick, they're not heavy, opaque. They're very light, but they're very bright. So I think that's a good thing. I think you're doing good. Like I said, I've never saw someone, that's why I literally looked at your feet and I was like, oh, where's it coming from? Where's it going to? But I don't interpret, but no person is wrong in the way that they have it go through them, but I don't know. I mean, well done.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, anybody else? And please don't compare yourself to the next person, because everybody is very unique and very special in their own way. And the way that you perceive and what I see is right for you at this moment in time, and everybody's changing. So please don't think that anyone's better or worse because I see things differently with each of you. It's not that way, because I may see something special in you than I didn't see in the other person. Everybody is special. Everybody is unique. Everybody is where they need to be. So please don't think anyone is ever better than the other person. Ever. Don't put yourself up to the next person, because you're exactly where you need to be to receive what you need. Okay. Hi. It's nice to meet you. I'm Ricky. Okay, so I'm seeing this is changing a little bit, the colors from the crown and the third eye. I don't see it in like the indigo and the purple like they say, and the blue is changing a little bit, and it's pinkish looking here. And again, I'm seeing like the spots around here. I'm not. I think you've been working with your intuition and stuff, because it seems a lot brighter. But I do see a lot going on in your heart area. Your colors are also starting to blend really, really well. So I don't know what work you're doing, but are you a healer also? Because your hands are going to me. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so you're running through energy, but yeah, your colors are all running together also. And there's something with your crown also that you're changing. So I don't know if you're trying to switch up the way that you're like connecting to here, because I see the colors appearing here. They're not very, very prominent, but I see that this is changing. So I'm thinking you're switching from one way of looking at it to another maybe. And you're working more with your intuition, because it seems very prominent to me. And that's like the brightest color I see with you, but you're changing also, so well done.
Thank you, I'll call you. I'll just see you when there's so many
All right,
people. Okay.
You have a good night. Sure. Terry. Hey Terry. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what this means. Okay, so normally I'll see different colors, you know, and they're like bands of light that go down. The thing is I'm seeing the same color from here through here. I'm not exactly sure what that means. So maybe you've already combined the crown through the throat chakras and all your, I'm seeing the same color here. Your heart, I'm seeing, you know, your high heart, your heart, like your soul, the seat of your soul, and then like the diamond looking, you got a little bit of a disconnect between here and like your sacral, between your solar plexus and your sacral. But other than that, I'm not sure why these are all connected just so fluid, but they are. They're very fluid, like ombre hair, kind of like fluid. Okay, so that's kind of what it reminds me of in a blue. Like I said, there's a little bit of disconnect here, but that's the only part that's not completely blended. So, well done. Awesome. You've been doing great work. Thank you. Okay.